Like,
no, I definitely think it should be masks because it's or it should be. Damn it, that my segue, my perfect segue. I'll give it another take. It should definitely be My Hero Academia because it'll remind you of our actual play Masks. It's about teenage superheroes.
It's about teenage superheroes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, let's talk about the last thing we want to chat about for just a couple seconds before the end of our stream. I want to talk about our Masks campaign, Heroes in Progress.
Yep.
Just super good and fun. Everyone here plays teenage superheroes. I play everyone else. And we are halfway through our 8-episode run of the game. And we'll be uploading all of our previous episodes, except for episode 1, which is Lost to the Ages. Sorry about it.
I do love that it's halfway through our 8-episode thing. 6 months in or so.
Yeah, right? That should happen.
Weekly show.
Weekly show.
Weekly.
Yeah, quote unquote weekly. But just I want to chat and do a little bit of a chat back and have you guys talk about your characters so we can clip and highlight this so people can catch up if they want to watch the second half of the season.
Yeah.
Which I highly recommend because it's very good and very fun, and I have a lot of good fun stuff planned that like I run quite a few games and play in a bunch, and there's so much cool stuff that like is setting inappropriate for the stuff that I'm running on other streams right now that I'm so excited that I get to put into the Masks game. So definitely let's talk about that a little bit. So who do you guys play in our game? Someone start.
So I play Caltrop, and she's a very scrawny 12, just turning 13, year old brilliant genius, mechanical, technical individual. Like if you can think of it, she could probably come up with something or do it. And her mom is named Shadow. I'm blanking on my last name. Shadow Moon. And it's sort of like a Catwoman type analog for the world. And the main antagonist of our series is my mom. And I gotta say, I am just
that's true.
Kind of
loving this role playing. Has been some of the most fun and rewarding that I've done in a very long time. I'm loving the characters that we have. They're all very distinct, and they're, we're not right now back to back against the world as far as us as a team goes. But I feel like we're making some really solid adolescent choices that do not necessarily make us the best. We're heroes in progress. We don't have it all figured out. And one of the things that Caltrop is trying to figure out is who she is as a hero. She knows that like bad things are bad, and that she wants to work to make the world a better place. But, when your mom is chaotic neutral at best, I mean, to borrow a phrase, what does that look like for you? And when you keep trying to do the right thing and it keeps blowing up in your face, where do you have to start blurring the line to make sure that the outcome that you want gets done in a timely fashion?
Yep.
And
can I jump in on this just a little
sure.
bit? I want to say that because you brought it up, I think it's really important to note that Masks is a teenage superhero game. You're not playing like full-fledged, highly functional heroes. Like this isn't the X-Men. There are so many other systems that you could run that cleanly in. Like I played a very good Supers game in Cortex Prime. It's perfect for that. But the like defining trait of Masks is that you're not wielding your powers, you're unleashing them. Like that's how it's written into the playbook. So I like that you guys have taken that to heart and are wrestling with the like, what does it mean to be a teenage superhero? And for you specifically, because you're playing the Scion, what does it mean to be the like super powered child of a supervillain? And like, how does that intersection between like right and wrong and personal identity and coming of age, like how does that play out? And I think that's why Masks is one of my favorite games, just because you get to think more about that than just like I'm gonna like roll to just punch a thing in the face and we'll see how it goes.
I find that because I don't have control of my powers, and because things like I've got plans that usually never fall through or always fall through, I get angry.
Yeah.
Like I get a little frustrated as a player because I'm like, come on, I just want to do the thing, but I need to figure out a way to do the thing that makes sense to in the confines of the world. And so then I'll end up out like lashing out, like that time I
So
sunk a
good.
ship.
So good.
And
Oh my
almost got
God.
me killed
I
later.
loved it. I
Yeah, it
was
was
so
good.
happy when you're like, I sink the container ship. And I was like, oh, that's the exact
Well,
thing
we're
you do.
all yelling at you to stop.
Right.
But
and
no,
that
the
is-
point is like, don't make the right choices. Make the
fun-
the teenage choice.
Yeah.
Like when you're an adult playing a teenager, obviously you know like what a level-headed person who's calmly making their decision in like a safe space at a table would do. But what would like the teenage person that you're portraying do?
And that was probably my favorite part of like all the choices that I've made as a character. It was sinking that ship was just like the craziest.
Like this is just an intro. We'll come back around to favorite moments.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Then I'm done.
Okay. I play Andrew Conway, whose superhero and also supervillain name is Faultline, and he has geomancy. Is that the right term? Yeah. So he can control the ground and like rock and dirt and stuff. And
Playbook.
he is the. No, I've got this. Oh, I totally heard the first half of the word. So yeah, you gave it to me. It's reformed. He's the reformed. I wasn't gonna take that for myself. I'm sorry.
I respect your honesty.
And so I used to be a supervillain. I became one when I was like
Let's be
14.
fair, you used to be a villain. You're still a teenager. So
Okay.
you were not the level of
I
like
was
Savannah
I
or
was-
Savannah's mom.
I was
Yeah.
a better than average villain.
Yeah, you were a child soldier. You were a beast with no nation.
I had a nation. My nation was Mr. Kane.
Yeah. Go on.
I was a
sorry.
hired gun.
Yeah.
I was just an idiot kid who could control the ground, sort of. And then my handler decided that I shouldn't be a villain and forced me into becoming more of a hero character and let me go. So now I'm 17 and I'm not a villain anymore. I was like 6 months ago, but that's the past. But I'm not, and I want to be a hero.
By the
Kind
way,
of.
Ian is dropping into his fault line like patterning. It's very funny to
Yeah.
watch.
I'm sorry, what?
Like you were getting into character and it was really funny. Like you're like you changed the way you sat and like your speech pattern. It was really funny.
I'm gonna have to rewatch that later.
Yeah, it was really cute to watch you like become fucking fault line as you explained yourself.
And so it's kind of like if Bruce Wayne, if his parents didn't die and just ignored him instead, like that's his home
Yay!
life.
You know who it reminds me of?
Who?
The rich kid in Peter Parker's class in like the current iteration, like the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies.
Oh, yeah.
The one that's super
Oh.
mean to him,
Or
and then
Flash,
you learn,
yeah.
yeah, and then you learn across Far From Home that he's like neglected by his parents.
Oh yeah.
Like if that kid had powers, is like how I think of Andrew. It's very
Mm.
funny.
What I like about
Mm.
Fault Line
Also,
is
plus Oliver Queen.
Well, yeah.
Salmon Letter.
he's
Yeah.
reformed by 6 months, and like that's totally the past because you're a teenager, and it is.
And
Yeah.
6 months is a long
It's
time
so
when you're
long ago.
17.
Yeah. It's long ago to a teenager, but like clearly not long enough as like any adult watches him constantly fuck up and
Yeah.
backslide. Like it's
Yeah.
so good.
We've done arms deals for God's sake.
Yeah.
There are so
good.
many people that aren't even aware I'm not a villain still.
Yeah, right. Most of them were just like, I guess he just
Like-
went back to school or whatever. I think he's still a villain.
You went on vacation? I don't know. Did you break your arm? You had to hold off for a minute?
yeah, I
Like-
think he had Boy Scout jamboree or something. I don't know where the fuck he's been. Let's
Yeah.
do this. Let's do this arms deal.
But I have a much better relationship with my butler and his wife.
Yep.
You know, as
Love
as you
so
do.
much.
They do, and they know more than they want to let me know.
Ooh, what a mystery. I love it. I
Weird.
have
I
like,
wonder And I
who
didn't roll
seeded
high enough
that.
to figure out what they know.
I love
Oh.
it. That was so perfect. I have like a whole thing written out for them. I love it.
Perfect.
God.
So I'm playing Jenry, whose superhero name is Jenry,
Uh,
and they are the book the Outsider, which is just generally someone from like another place. And for me, that means that Jenry is from like another section of the galaxy entirely, and is on Earth to grow up in the Earth way. Although Jenry's real job is to decide if Earth gets to die or live.
Jenry's real job is to make all of us go, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, Jenry
Nobody
does.
knows this except Shadow Moon,
Yes,
and only mostly. I don't think
she's also like, the fuck.
like I'm sorry, what? But Jenry's whole thing is just trying to grow up as a person and seeing like what the human experience is, and if that can be fixed to a point where Earth will be allowed to survive.
Go ahead and
Amazing.
fix
That's
the
in,
human
like,
experience.
Yep.
So long. Ideally, it probably won't be though.
It's so good. I love that. Like, this is the other reason I really wanted to do.
Oh,
like,
and Jenry shapeshifts.
yeah,
And is
shapeshifter.
generally an androgynous, genderless, blue,
Thing.
bipedal thing.
With a nose that plays.
No, not usually.
Sometimes,
Just
sometimes they
sometimes.
have
Douglas Fir has the nose that plays.
Douglas Fir
Oh
is
my
Jenry's alter ego,
If
which is
they're-
Matt Damon with the nose from Ocean's 12,
if
13.
Jenry has, because that's Jenry's human male analog. If Jenry has a human female analog, it'll be Douglas Fir.
Douglas. Oh, we love to see it. We love that for them. So good.
Oh my god.
That's so good. Yeah, I really like the idea of the chatback, because like the second half of this game is definitely going to be like kind of turning the screws on the group. Because a lot of like the cool thing about Masks is each playbook is very specifically tailored to like a different kind of play experience. So early on, as we were kind of fainting with the like general bad guys showing up, I was setting up the idea that the reformed playbook has a bunch of mechanics for like their connections and like their responsibilities and duties to like the underworld that they left. So we set up Tegan Queen, an arms dealer, as like the first of the antagonists. I was really happy that it ended up being that Shadow Moon, Caltrop's mom, shows up and becomes like
Jenry's mom as well.
yeah, now Jenry's mom too is the primary antagonist, but like there are things written in the Outsider playbook about their moment of truth, which is like their big reveal. It's the big reveal hero moment. The Outsiders is actually like kind of horrifying. Everyone else is like, you're the hero now. You can do it. Wield your powers. Save the day. The Outsiders is just like, hey,
I call my people. Great.
I call my people. It will probably be bad. Like,
I mean,
so
the reformed is you don't really know where you stand. So
yeah, that's fair. You guys all picked like the less obvious hero track ones, which is really cool. I respect that you like dug in.
I liked the picture on the Outsider playbook, and
Yeah.
I was like, I want that one.
The art's super cute too.
I like that the Reformed and the Scion, like we just kind of end up in the middle,
Yeah.
and we could do that. We could start like a Heroes for Hire type.
anti-hero deal. Yeah.
We love it.
Let's go
Birds
and
of prey.
let's go and beat people up for money, for
Meanwhile,
justice,
Jenry
for
has
money.
like legitimately no real horse in this race.
Yeah.
Not in the long term. I have short-term horses. Like
Short-term
Cindy.
horse is my new improv group.
Cindy's is one of my short-term horses.
Yay. Yeah.
Mm.
So I really like this. Based off of your playbooks, it's why the campaign is called Heroes in Progress. Because especially, I mean, the idea of like persondom and like striving for the human experience aside, like the fact that two of the playbooks are deeply tied to like the supervillain element that is part of this like society, like it's about choice and about what you choose to do with the gifts that you're given. And it's not as simple as like I'm a legacy character that like has only ever known like the party line of be a hero. Like these are three individuals that really have to like decide and are constantly going to be challenged with the like the prospect of like choosing to be a hero or choosing to not. And you guys have full volition to do whatever you want. If the campaign turns in a wild direction, it does.
Yeah.
It's
We
come
have-
close.
There was
Yeah.
a
I
point
mean,
where
really close.
Faultline could have just
I
walked
almost
away.
left the campaign as like just became a villain again and left the campaign
Yeah.
and just like what the fuck?
I wouldn't have let you leave the campaign. It would have just been
I mean-
weirder.
It would have been weirder.
But yeah, so I super appreciate that you guys have like dug in and are really working hard to like mine what's interesting and what's important about like this specific like mixture of characters. So yeah, I really hope you guys come and check out our last 4 episodes. They're going to be super big and super good, and episode 5 of 8 will be this Friday at 2 p.m. So definitely jump in and join us. Does anyone else have anything else they want to say about the campaign before we wrap up?
Can we talk favorite moments?
Oh yeah, what's your favorite moment
Okay,
so far?
we already talked about the boat, so
Yeah.
I'm not going to touch on that
No, you're
because there was another moment that I really liked, which was neutralizing the lava character whose name was, I forget off the top of my head.
Volcanus.
Volcanus.
He's almost one of the names of our dice.
Yeah.
Right? I
We
thought
could've
of that
been
name
hot
on the
sauce.
fly in session 0. You're like, what's his name? And I was like, Volcanus.
Nailed it.
With Volcanus and Faultline being sort of mortal enemies or paired off as like a yin to the yang type thing. I came across him once and got our butts handed to us. And the second one, I came up with a gadget that froze his lava. And I felt like that was a moment for me as a player where it's like, oh, anytime she meets the same thing again, she's going to be ready.
Yeah, I love that.
So I got some plans for multiple man.
Nice.
Or the multiplying man, I should say.
Yep.
He's gonna be hopefully hurting.
Ooh, good. Villains.
So I
Villains
just
with a lot of
so
you.
with that mindset, I started off with like trying to be really techy, but now
Yeah.
I'm becoming more gadgety
I like that.
and coming up with different. Like I think it's gonna be. I like the grenade way of dispersing things, so I'm probably gonna be becoming like a cheeky little grenadier who's
I mean,
like,
it makes sense if you're Caltrops, like you're constantly throwing things in your
exactly.
in your enemy's path. Like that's
So.
perfect. It's so good.
I love it, and that's all I have to say.
Also, I feel like that, like thinking about that, it really leans into the idea of Caltrop as someone who is raised and informed by supervillains who are constantly trying to like foil specific heroes that they they come up against a bunch.
Yeah.
Like that is how a supervillain would think about it. Like I have to stop this one guy specifically, so I go find like a yellow pillowcase to stop Green Lantern or whatever. So like they're
Right.
constantly trying to like knock down a specific person. So I really appreciate the thought that went into that.
I'm just loving every second of this.
Nice. Anything else?
Favorite
I
moments.
really enjoyed telling Cindy how Jenry's people are born.
Oh my god!
Oh my
disgusting. I love being Cindy because it's just me getting to like be horrified.
I'm
without
sorry.
The mask of a
When he's
GM.
talking, we all get to be
Yeah,
Cindy.
We are Cindy.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Yeah, no, like
Oh no.
anytime I get to open my mouth and say a crazy thing as Jenry is fun.
It's so good.
Jenry is a gift to us all.
Jenry is a gift.
Like we all get to talk, we do our little thing, and then you always talk 3 times more, and all of us are like, ah.
And it's always in that very chipper, like neutral
Yeah.
to polite tone. And you're just like, it's
Yeah.
more horrifying because you're not bothered.
talking about letting Destroyer die. The ocean.
Yeah.
That's just what I did.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Anyway, so good. Rip Destroyer.
Yeah.
Right?
What's this event about?
So good. Go check out episode, was it 4?
That was the previous one, yeah.
Yeah. Go check out episode 4 to know what we're talking about.
That'll all be up on YouTube soon. I had trouble in the uploading process.
Yeah, no worries.
Last
It's
time
a
I
pain in
was.
the butt. You're good.
It's such a pain,
Yeah.
and they're so big,
Favorite
so it takes
moment!
forever. Okay.
This is my GMing style.
Do
it!
Yell at me.
Ah!
And your convention style.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's your style.
Buy dice. What was it? Give me money. I just did. Give me more. Hands over and buys my
It
dice.
worked.
Yo.
You
What?
didn't even buy a cheap set.
We bought like a metal set. I was like, oh my god.
You're like, I have so much power.
Oh my god.
I think one of my favorite scenes that we did was when I had to face Tegan alone at the docks because
It was-
everyone came with.
It was a
Even
perfect
Shadow
comedic
Moon
moment.
was there. We had everyone,
Everyone.
and we had a plan because because Tegan wanted Caltrop's head, so we had Jenry turn into Caltrop's head, which was
Side
the
note,
worst.
Tegan is played by Salma Hayek in a red wig, and I just need everyone to know that.
Yeah.
Continue.
Tegan is basically Salma Hayek in a red wig. But also, when Jenry first turned into the head after it rolled around on the ground for a bit, grew arms and legs, and just walked around. Nope, that's just not a thing. Talk about least favorite things in my life.
No, thank you. We
Uh,
have to constantly ask, like, do you still look like that?
and he's like, "Oh yeah, I do," and we're like, "No."
Damn it.
Oops. Guess I'll change into something else now.
It's worse!
Like a
So
seagull.
I met with Tegan under a street light, and all our people were hiding, and I assumed all of her people were hiding. And we had a little conversation, and I had the option to leave with her and become a villain again.
Yep.
I think there was also a talking more option that you just didn't take as
Yeah.
well.
You know, probably
There
it was
was a
it was
talking
heat of the moment. I
It
wasn't
was a pretty
thinking
cool
well.
moment. It was nighttime.
Yeah, I was. It was
I'm kidding.
chilly.
Go. You're good.
And so I decided to throw the head at her
Like
and
you do.
say, "Jenry, now!" And nothing happened.
The head just hit the ground.
The head went through her hologram. She
Yep.
wasn't even there.
Yeah.
And it hit the ground. And she's like, "What was your plan there?" And I was like, "You'll never know."
Yeah, and Jenry's just sitting there as a head, like, oh wait.
Yep.
And then everyone in the back was waiting. I had to rat out the people that were hiding for them to
Get
help
them to
me.
come and help. It was very good.
Oh my
It was so
God.
good.
I thought I was going to die. People were attacking me before anyone else would help,
Ooh.
and only after I ratted them out.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. Also, I was
Oh.
hoping the lesson to be learned there was like, investigate the scene when you walk there.
Yeah,
You
I
guys
mean,
have got to like
we don't investigate shit.
investigate. I was like, oh, I have so many like clues about the fact that like she's not there. Oh, they're
And
just
you're
gonna,
like, we do it.
just
It
gonna
was like I walk out and you're like,
Yeet.
"No!"
Jenry head. I'm like, okay, well, that's just that then.
Then
is the life we
Jenry
live.
turned just what Jenry did after that just got bigger and grew arms and legs. That was it. And fought like that. That was the weirdest shit and stayed in that form
with,
for way too long
For so long.
with knife hands.
with knife
Knife
hands.
hands.
Yeah, I forgot
Giant
your hands were
decapitated
knives.
Caltrop head with knife hands and little legs.
The hands coming out of like the forehead area, and
Yeah.
the legs coming out of the stump.
yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was
a bad thing to
super
think
weird.
about.
It's
Oh
awful.
my God.
That's the only where. That's where else would you put arms and legs on that?
I would
Body.
behind the ears so they flap a bit when you
On a body.
But
forward.
it didn't have a
On
body.
a body?
I could have grown a little tiny body out from under the
I
head.
hate it.
Oh my God.
You know what?
A little
No,
baby
I
body?
end this campaign. I hate thinking about it.
You're like 4 is enough.
Four's
Okay.
good. 4 will
Four.
haunt me.
If you hate this, you'll really hate the thing I'm working on.
No.
Okay, well that was it. That was our mask game. I quit.
No, for the other, the thing I'm working
I quit
on.
the whole company, so I won't be
I'm
here
gonna
for that
force
either.
you to play that.
Yeah, that's true. All you have to do is just shake a bag of fucking dice at me, and apparently I just show up and be a
Shake a bag of
historian.
dice. They're all purple in here. You're like, "Oh my God."
And I just show up. Quitty. If you say
We
quitty
lock
into a
the door.
fucking RPG stream 3 times, I'll appear. But on that note, we should take off because we have cool, important dice stuff to do for
Things
the rest
we
of the day.
can't talk about.
Yeah, so many
Yeah.
secrets that we'll keep from you for as long as we can to preserve an air of mystery.
Can I raid from our mobile app?
No one knows. Possibly. Or one of our
We have
friends
a
streaming.
mobile app?
It better not be Mika.
Well, Hyper just started streaming.
Oh shit, yeah, it's Malika
It's
talking
wild
about
talk.
wild shit. Just chatting before Kolak. Yeah. Well, on that note, catch me tonight in and out 2 hour. How many hours? When does that stream start? 6. In 2 hours, over at Hyper RPG, playing Kolak 1991, which is Kids on Bikes actual play. It's like Stranger Things meets Twin Peaks. Oh, it's Twin Peaks Day. So Zach will probably have something fucking terrible in store.
Mika is streaming. She's knitting.
Mika, get your shit. Oh, I guess she has time. Get your shit together. So I
She's
guess
got to
we'll stream
finish
one of
the
those.
knitting before the stream.
Yeah, right. On Sundays, you can catch me over at Saving Throw Show on New Pantheon, which is Demigod's actual play. Super fun. On Tuesdays, you can catch me on Saving Throw Show again, where I'm running Pirates of Salt Bay, which is a D&D 5th edition actual play. It's homebrew. And yeah, that's all I'll say about it. We've got cool stuff coming up, and I can't talk about it yet. Check that out. It's at 8 p.m. PST. On Wednesdays, catch a mask game that I'm playing in over at Happy Jack's RPG called Eidolon Academy. On Fridays, every Friday, a new episode of 12-Sided Stories comes out. We just finished our Vampire 5th edition first season of Unquiet Blood actual play, and we're going to get into a mini campaign of demigods called New Afterlife, I think, where I'm playing the trickster daughter of capitalism. And then we get into Otherworld London, which is a Call of Cthulhu game. So check those out too. Wednesday, catch me on the Hyperdrive at Hyper RPG because it's the Hyperversary. I'll be running a game from 3 to 5 p.m. I don't know what I'm running yet. I'm getting tweets right now about like what I'm going to be doing. So I don't know, Matt. I'll figure it out. Don't worry about it. It's going to be great.
No more billies to kill?
There's no more billies. Oops, I killed all the billies.
You could find another.
I could scrape up some more billies.
There's always clones.
Yeah, that's true. It's just kill tibbies. I love killing tibbies. I think that's everything I'm doing this week. So catch me on that. And catch me on social media at Quiddy, QUIDDIE.
Well, you can catch me on social media at Yorick of Jest. And I do nothing else.
You are on stream here.
I'm on stream here, yeah.
Nuzlocke Wednesday?
Oh, yeah, Nuzlocke Wednesday. But we already mentioned all that stuff.
I mean, you always mention it again.
Mention at the end.
Nuzlocke Wednesday and Masks Friday.
Yep.
Here.
I'm at, oh my gosh, I forgot my handle. D20__David on Twitter. You could catch me. I'm usually just changing diapers. That's what I do now. That's who I am.
Was the single underscore taken?
Yeah.
Huh.
I like that you were like, fuck it. 2 underscores. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right. And I am Dylan Vaughn, and you can find me on Twitter at VeryNotARobot, because I'm not one. And I do the same streams as Ian. And did we ever say that Monday's going to be our tabletop thing now?
No.
Like after this week?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, we've done it now. Monday's going to be now tabletop games, then Wednesday will be our Nuzlocke or whatever we end up doing that's not a Nuzlocke when we don't want to feel sad, and then Fridays is Masks.
Perfect. So catch us here for all of that, and we will see you
at 2 p.m. Pacific time all the time.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we'll see you soon. Have a good day, guys. Roll well.
Roll statistically well.
Yeah, whatever that means for your game.